Welcome to episode 2 of the Know You series. So this video, we're going to talk about how to use the coins to get yes/no responses and communicate with our higher self. And I have found that using the 3 coins is the best divination tool I've ever tried. Far outweighs the body method, the body sway method, the hand method, definitely the pendulum, and there's some other, I think there's others out there. I have found this one to be the most reliable, the best. I don't know what else. I had a word, but I lost it. Because it is a method of kinesiology, but in throwing the coins, you really get out of the way. And along the way, I'll be sharing with you what questions are ego generated. So we wouldn't ask an ego question, because all the other divination systems, or all the other systems that teach you how to work with your higher self, they don't discriminate what kinds of questions are ego-generated questions. Thereby, if you ask an ego-generated question, you're going to get an ego-generated response. Now, on yes/no questions, you have 50-50 chance of being correct. But usually, those methods, if we haven't cleared enough of our false beliefs and detached and know really what zone to get in to be completely neutral, the use of the pendulum and the body can be, the ego can get in there and not manipulate. I'm not getting the words right today. But we can have emotions that rise up that cause the heart frequency. Yeah, we have desires and ego emotions that cover up our heart energy that can sway the pendulum and the body in the wrong direction. Okay, so I think lots of people are getting yes responses, but they're based on ego questions and ego responses. And the coins don't let you do that so much. So, what else do I want to say? Also, I haven't heard many people say that where you ask the question from is really important. I would say, and I know this is what I did until recently, until I had another aha, that we tend to ask questions, even of our higher self in deep meditation. We will ask questions from the mind energy zone. You know that the mind generates a frequency which is equivalent to a dimension, a dimensional zone or energy that is different from the heart zone. This is already scientifically backed up, so this is not woo-woo thinking, this is real thinking, a real knowing. So the mind generates a field, and it's a linear, dual reality, and it is not the zone that our helpers live in, that true, pure consciousness exists. Boy, my words, I'm not choosing my words well this time. It is the heart zone that functions in a unity consciousness, and where the helpers exist and where they can help you from and where they help you from. But if we ask a question and we send it through the heart zone, it's the wrong zone. The mind cannot fix what the mind created. All of our problems are mind created. So, and we all know that. And there's Einstein said you can't fix a problem from the same something it was created, and you have to go to a different level. And we all know that. And I think what we do is the mind plays a little trick on us, manipulates us, and it says, and we use our spiritual axioms. We go, oh, okay, the mind created this, but now I'm going to look at this from a higher perspective. I know it's all meant to be, and we bring all these spiritual phrases in. We go, okay, it was meant to be, or it was for my good, it was a lesson. And the mind is creating a higher objective and trying to still fix the problem from the mind. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm a little discombobulated. You know me, I fly by the seat of my pants. I really should take notes and structure these things out, but I just go with it. So forgive me if I'm not making sense, but I think you get what I'm saying. We create a problem with the mind, and then the mind tricks us and says, oh yeah, you need to have a higher perspective, but it's still the mind trying to see things from a higher perspective and create an answer from there. When in reality, we need to drop our energy and get into the heart dimensional arena, unity arena, where our helpers really can help us, and ask the heart the question. Not ask the heart, but we'll ask the heart. But when we're asking questions of our helpers, or asking our helpers for help, we need to send the question out from our heart. Speak from our heart. And you can really do it. You just drop your consciousness down in there and you ask from your heart. And it's really a feeling question. There are words that you're using, but it's a feeling, and you will feel that energy going out into this zone, and your helpers will hear it immediately. Okay? So that's one of the things I don't hear other people teaching divination, communication techniques with your higher self. What they don't talk about is where you ask the questions from. So with the coins, we're going to be asking the questions from our heart. Okay? Let me get back on track. So you have 3 coins, 3 pennies, and you're going to be getting centered. You'll get into your centered zone. You're going to drop your energy down into your heart. Let me back up. Let's talk about just setting up to do this. Because you're throwing coins, you definitely want a nice solid place to do this. Maybe a towel, because the coins can go flipping around if you're doing it on a hard surface. Oh, great. Have the light thing here. I'll try to keep, well, okay. So a nice flat surface, maybe you want to put a towel on, but be careful that the towel or blanket or whatever you're using doesn't wrinkle easily, because if you throw the coins and it hits a little bump, you're going to always wonder, oh, do I need to throw it again? Is that the real answer? So you really want a nice flat surface, soft surface. Throw the coins, and so you don't want them flipping all over, falling off, and then you'll always question yourself. I like to wash my hands. I don't like to keep lotion on it. I keep it, just clean my energy, cleanse my psyche. So that's preparation. 3 pennies, good working arena, clean hands. Then you're going to center, get down here into this zone. Just take a few seconds, a minute, just breathe, okay? Ask your helpers to cleanse your psyche. And you're going to, you're going to be shaking your coins. And you're going to direct the question out from your heart. So, for example, do I have the phrase, am I good enough? Do I have the phrase, am I good enough? Or, can you please help me with this? Any question, and you send it out there, right? And you're in your heart, and you're shaking your hands, the coins, and what we are doing is we're inviting inspiration to come in. So our breath is going to be really important. Remember, we receive inspiration. Inspiration means breath. breathing invites spirit into our bodies. So we're going to ask the question, send it out from our heart. We're going to do it. We're going to do this ah-ha kind of thing. We're going to breathe in, shake, and all your attention is going to be in your hands, because the goal of this is to get us away from ego. We don't want any ego interference. It can happen. So we're creating an environment where ego can't interfere. Okay? And ego doesn't interfere when we're breathing and we have our focus down below our heads. So we're going to focus on our hands and we're going to breathe in. Here, shake, 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 feeling our hands, and on the aha, we throw the coins and we'll get our response. I hope this made sense. So we're going to be sending the question out from our heart, getting center, shaking the coins, or considering our question, sending our question out from the heart. Then we're going to breathe in while we're shaking. All of our attention is in our hands or our heart, whatever visualization you want. We're feeling the coins, breathing in, ah, ah, and then a little pause, because it's in the pause that inspiration and information can drop in. And then we go, ah, ha, throw the coins, and that's when it can come through. This is where spirit comes in, comes through your hands to manipulate the coins to the answer that is correct. I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, that method, this is my method. This is not from Carol Anthony. This is not the system, but this is the method that I found works the most consistently and the best for me. Because just shaking the coins and asking the question, I found ego interferes way too much, because I was asking from my head, and while I'm shaking and asking the question, sometimes I'll hear no or an answer, and I know it's coming from the ego, and I never trust the coins because somehow ego has come in. So while this method that I described may seem awkward at first, it's really the best way I have found to get ego out of the way. It can't interrupt. When you're focused on your hands and your breath, this gives spirit the ability to come in clearly and cleanly, to allow kinesiology to work cleanly without ego interference. So, once again, centered, table, towel, clean hands, clean mind. Get centered. Ask your question from the heart, and then focus everything on your breath, your hands, feeling the coins, and you're going to do the aha. Breathing in is the ah, little pause, shaking, feeling, and then ha, aha, releasing the coins. If you're doing all that, the mind cannot interfere. Now, I will tell you, and I'll put this in the description, how do you know a yes from a no? Tails or heads? So, yes responses. This is kind of like the hot-cold game. Oh, you're warm or you're hot. So a really hot response, like, yes, you got it, you understand completely, is going to be 3 heads. If you toss the coins, remember we're using 3 pennies, and you get 3 heads, that's like, you nailed it, girl, you got it, 100% correct, hot, keep moving. So yes, 3 heads is a big yes. 2 heads and a tail it's a yes, it's a simple yes. You've understood enough to keep moving forward, but if you'd like, there is more to discover. But it is a simple yes. It's warm. You can keep moving forward. tails, two tails, and a head is a simple no. Once again, you could learn more, but it's a no, okay? If you get three tails, that has several meanings, and we'll talk about that in another video. It can mean no, 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 cold, 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 you're way off track. It can mean ego has interfered and we can't give you a response. It could mean that ego asked the question. It could mean we're not going to answer you because you already know the answer. Something about that question was wrong, or you've used an incorrect word that has no universal basis, or the phrasing of the word was incorrect. So three tails is like, oh no, something is way off and you need to ask more into that. Okay, I will put that in the description box. I hope that was clear. Use this method to communicate with your higher self. It is really, for me, the best communication tool I've ever worked with. And I hope it works for you. Okay. Until next time.